recommended paths. Recommended paths are just that. It's not that you have to do those. Now, I have a guide here, and it'll be available to everyone because I will leave it here. It has the different levels for each path. So you can kind of see for the dynamic leadership, the 5 levels. Level 1, mastering fundamentals. You have that icebreaker that you have to give. You have to do an evaluation and feedback for somebody else that's doing a speech. You have to do researching and presenting for level 1. Exactly what those entail, I'm not quite sure because they haven't given us that information yet. They're just feeding us a little bit at a time, which is good because I know that this is overwhelming as it is, because I was overwhelmed this weekend looking at it all going, but I'm the one who's like, what do you mean researcher and presenting? I want more information now to figure out what. So sometimes it's good that they feed it to us slowly. Sometimes I wish that they would just give it all to us and we can digest it as we want to. Then on level 2, you're learning your style, understanding your leadership style, understanding communication style, introducing Toastmasters mentoring. So this would be under the leadership track, or path. It's not a track, it's a path. You would learn those. Then we have what we call level 3. And level 3 has one thing that we need to do, which would be, in this case, negotiating the best outcome. In leadership, sometimes you have to take 2 people and figure out what's going to work best, say, for the company or what have you. And then on level 3, there are elective projects that you can choose from. And this is what's so exciting, is they really encompass different things. On this one, it's delivering social speeches, using presentation software, connecting with storytelling, active listening. So it's just all sorts of different education things that you'll go get the information that you need to in order to complete that elective. And there are so many. So I'm going to leave these here and you can have a chance to look at them, the different paths, and it's just so much information. All right. So that's why I'm leaving these here, so you can get a grasp of which one you think you might want. It might say that, wow, being this, we've decided that you should be in the coaching and mentoring. And you're thinking, but I really want to work on my speeches. That's why you can look and see, does coaching and mentoring have the speech process that I want? It might. You don't know, but it has those electives, so that's great. All right. On page 9, it will give you more of those different paths that you can take. Pathways learning experience. What you do is you choose your path, and then you have to access your path through base camp. And again, this is on the computer. And there will be, you'll click on pathways from my understanding, and then in the pathways learning experience, it will have those 3 boxes that are in the middle of page 9. And whichever part you're on, you click into that. And again, the navigator is going to be your biggest tool through this program. It's going to show you how to get through the program with ease. If you have any questions, don't hesitate, though, to email me. I may know the answer. If not, I will get it as quickly as I can. All right. Number 10, or page 10, the top. Pathways doesn't change a club meeting. I'm really sorry, this is really small. I have bigger ones that we will have at next meeting. And it just gives you a comparison of what today's meeting has and what the pathways has. And as you can see, there's check marks in all of them. The nice thing is, in the pathways, there's pluses, which means that in addition to what we already have, there's even more. A couple weeks ago, Lloyd told us about the Distinguished Club Program. That's going to be changing, but not for a while. what they're going to do the first 2 years, I believe, is a hybrid. So those who are still working on the traditional education, keep at it. If you are determined that you want to get your Distinguished Toastmaster through the traditional way, let me know. We'll sit down together, we'll come up with a plan. There is still time to do it. That's the nice thing about this rollout. We're kind of in the middle, and so we've got a little extra padding time. So if the Distinguished Toastmaster is on your radar and you want it through the traditional program because you're all here now and can qualify for that, let's sit down and talk and map it out because it is possible. Or you can say, you know, this Pathways program is really more my style. It's encompassing the technology. It has more to offer and what I want to learn. I want to start Pathways now. You can drop where you're at and just start Pathways as soon as it rolls out and go from there. And you can get your Distinguished Toastmasters through that way too. There's lots of ways to do it. But in the meantime, we're the Distinguished Club program, which is that middle box. Two Communicator Competent Awards, which is our first goal, is the same as if we had 4 level 1s completed in the new Pathways. It's really confusing, I know. 2 more CCs, 2 level 2s. So as you can see, it kind of graduates up with the same program. If you're not sure where we're at in the Distinguished Club program, please ask myself or Lloyd or any of the officers, and we will help you navigate as to where we're at. I believe we are already distinguished. We've got 5.
Yeah. We're about certain to be select, and we have a really good shot at being presidents again. But it'll work fine for us for the transition. It's not going to be any problem at all.
Right. Yeah. And so I think what we'll be doing is the traditional this year for the Toastmaster year complete, and then next year we might do the hybrid for Distinguished.
That's kind of how I understand it.
Okay. All right. So we're on track. Okay. Next is local support. All right. So as I said, I'm the pathway guide for this club. If you have questions, please talk to me, and I'll ask the ambassador, who is me. And if I still don't have the answer, because I didn't research it enough, I can go to our chief ambassador, who I said knows quite a bit. But don't tell him I said this, he doesn't know everything. We also have a district trio. And I am happy that our district director, Jennifer Zerba, is here tonight. She will answer some questions. Jan Taylor, who is our club growth?
She's program quality.
Program quality director. She is actually working hand in hand with Ed on this program. So she knows a lot. I can contact her, and our club growth director, who is Maria McNamara McDonald.
The other way around.
She also has great information. The trio has gone to conference. They were getting information about Pathways. We have so many people here that are no Pathways. Also, Dan, you're an ambassador? Yeah. So I can call up Dan and say, I have a question. Do you have the answer?
I like that.
You can try anyway.
So we're as a team working together. So as you can see, there's lots of local support. We'll have more information at our district conference, which is in May 16th and 17th?
18th and
18th and 19th, thank you, I was close. 18th and 19th in Spokane. What's that? All right. So how do I get started? This is page 11. I'm going to tell you, but we have to wait until March 20th, but I have to do 8 of these visits, and you guys are my first one, so you guys have to wait a little bit longer. Anyway, this first one, how do I get started? This Pathways kit, I have them. I forgot it, sorry. But I do have it, I know where it's at, I haven't packed it away. It will be here next week. I will give it to Lloyd. It has a disc, what's those called?
Thumb drive.
Thumb drive, thank you. A thumb drive that probably has this information too, I'm assuming. I did not plug it in, which was one of my goals today, but it never got in the computer to see what's on it, so. It has that. It also has cards for everybody that explains the differences between the program. And it also has 2 Pathways pens. So if you like acknowledgement, those who sign up for Pathways right away can get a Pathways pin. So, yeah. All right. Some other things, helpful hints. Checking compatibility. Up here, once you log on and can get into Pathways, check compatibility. That makes sure that videos will run on your device. Sometimes they don't play nice with everything. I don't understand why. One thing works on Explorer, but it doesn't work on Chrome, or it works on Chrome and it doesn't work on Explorer. So just check. It's one of those things I didn't understand. And like I said, there's going to be continued support throughout. All right, so the top one on page 12 says, let's log in together. I think it's a little premature because we're not even to that point yet. But do try and log in. If you can't seem to get it, ask me next week. We'll make sure that you get on. Now, question and answers. Anybody have any questions? Or did I? Okay. Caitlin.
Something that I've been asked quite a few times is what is comparable to our CL manual in Pathways? Because we have a meeting that's going to be the same, how are people in the meeting getting those types of credit and how does it translate back and forth?
From my understanding is on your Pathways Basecamp page, you have your sign in and you have like a little icon where it's your name and so forth. I'm not sure if you or the I think it's you, will go in and put the date that you are on counter or that you do table topics. And it keeps track of that in the program. Now, there is a check program, and I believe on that, as well as speeches or any of the projects, what happens is you submit it, and then either the Vice President of Education, Secretary or Treasurer, or not Secretary or
President
President
or BPE.
and BPE can go in and say, yes, this person was on counter that day. That's how that information will be tracked.
Yeah.
Other leadership projects, you will submit and they will get approved. So I don't know that there's an actual comparable CL manual, but
Vicki?
it'll help
It's
us both.
transferable in
Yeah.
Basecamp.
The way I understand it from the Facebook Pathways group is that all the stuff that's in the CL manual has actually been dispersed out onto the various paths. And so when in your particular path, it may say, you know, you need to be the all counter or the timer or whatever, or some combination of them. And then one way or the other, when you reach the completion of the path, your Basecamp manager, you know, VP, president or secretary, will in effect certify that you've done that, and that's how you get that. But I think Vicki is correct. We all have to enter the stuff ourselves. It would be just overwhelming to have 1 or 2 people in the club have to do that.
Doreen?
Going forward after March, when Pathways gets in place, is this saying eventually our manuals will be gone and that we'll be doing all of our studying from the computer with what's coming forward?
In 2 years, yes.
In 2 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You have 2 years for the others.
So they're going to be obsolete?
The manuals?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Unless you buy the printed one.
Yeah.
the
She meant the existing,
existing.
Program
No, new
manuals.
pathways, they'll
Yeah.
have the printed ones. They'll have printed ones.
They'll
Yeah.
specifically?
Yeah.
Oh.
But it won't be the same program.
But it will have like,
Yeah.
icebreaker and all of those.
Yes, icebreaker will be in
Yeah.
each path.
In each path.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll take a little bit of mulling over to decide when you want to make the jump to pathways. It depends a little bit on what you've got going on right now, and that'll be something that's individual to everybody, but we'll talk them over. We can figure it out.
Right, right. For me, I was set on getting my DTM through the traditional program first, so I set it out, and that's why I said if anybody really wants to say that they did DTM through the traditional path, I would be more than happy to sit down with you and figure out
Yeah.
what to do. So-
You can do both of them simultaneously, by the way. You can finish whatever you're working on in the traditional while you start a path, too.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
so,
So you can work on both of them, you just
Right.
can't count one speech or both of them.
right, right.
Yes,
How do you know if someone posts an evaluation for you?
it will pop up on your screen.
Yeah.
Because you'll have to
Do
enter
you
the
have to log in order to find out if somebody posted, or does it
Yes.
send you
Yes,
an
you have to
email
log
that
in.
Yes.
says you have an evaluation?
No, you have to log in.
You would have to log in to find out, okay.
And then it'll notify you whatever is the new stuff that showed up. And each of us has an individual base camp, highly customizable, which is one of the really good things about Pathways. And whenever you log in, it'll tell you stuff, and then, like, when you finish one level, it gives you the material for the next level, and so on.
Right. It's very user friendly.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like it, but it is, I
Yeah.
promise. Any other questions? Yes.
After you guys get on and digest all this, we'll have another meeting where we've got questions and answers, because I got a feeling Lloyd's going to be a guru here pretty soon.
Yeah. Well, I will say, I think this is really going to be a good thing. It's highly customizable, and so, whatever your particular needs or wishes are, you'll be able to focus right on that. Like strategic planning and communications, or inspirational speaking, or, there are 10 of these paths. And the materials that I've seen are really well done. I think they're better than the current ones,
Yeah.
which should be, because I've spent 2 or 3 years working on all this stuff. But I have a feeling all of us are going to be really happy about this once we get through this transition. Like any transition, it's going to be a little confusing, a little stressful, but we'll get through it. It'll work.
Yes.
On page 4,
Uh-huh.
could you just elaborate a little bit more about the 59 project? I'm not quite understanding
Yeah.
that we're going from, so you're saying that we're going from our communicator manual, the 10 projects that we had there,
Right.
and then we're going up to these, branching out into these 59, or?
So,
Sort of.
no. And this is what this will tell you. These are the different paths. And so you
Oh.
have a chance to look at the different paths. But these are all different types of educational programs,
Yeah.
the electives and so forth. And there's just so many to choose from.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't do all 59
No.
in each path. Each path has a collection of the projects, of different ones in it.
But with your communicator or your competent leadership, you know how it would say for your timing, you had to be timer once and then Toastmaster. But you didn't have to do all 5 of them. You just had to do
Yeah.
1 plus 1 out of the 4.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
It looks like there's more than 20 or so pages to that. Is that something in the computer that we can print out so we have a copy that we can digest it?
We'll make sure that you get a copy. I have a feeling that it is in the information that,
Yeah, somewhere in
the
there.
rollout kit.
Yeah.
And so Lloyd will be able to get that to everybody. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
So are we buying the kit for ourselves, or?
As Toastmasters now, you get 1 path. So when you decide, okay, I'm diving in to this program, they're going to give you 1 to start with, because you already a Toastmaster.
Right.
And so-
So another pad is like 20 bucks.
Yeah.
Like a
Is it?
manual.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What?
Unless you're a member of a second or more club, you get a second pass.
right, there's a loophole.
I don't know that
Yeah.
that does
Only get
anybody.
two paths at a time.
You can work on 2 paths at a time. If you are a member of more than one club, you can get one more, but only one more. So if you're a
Right.
member of 3 or 4 clubs, choose the amount.
Yes.
Right. Right.
I know.
I know,
Like, dang
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
The paths are set up too, so they have like mandatory projects in them, and then a list of options, and it's
Right.
possible to select just the things you want to do. It really is extremely customizable. It's not likely any two of us will ever do the same thing,
Right.
even on the same path.
Yeah. All right, if you have any other questions, email them to me. We're almost out of time. I'm going to send it back over to our Toastmaster.